And so the force of karmas, all of the karmas which we have done, which are actually of 4 kinds, but only 3 are of significance. One is a good karma, such as doing charity, helping others, being compassionate, being loving, being a good father, those kinds of actions. Or a bad action, which we would call a sin or a pap, which is lying, cheating, stealing, and all of those things, which our conscience tells us this is a wrong action. And we know it, and we do it anyway. So we get the negative effects of that. And then there's devotional actions, which is the worship which we do. That's the moments we think of God, the moments we are praying, or even remembering God in our daily life, or studying scripture, anything like that is a devotional action. So the accumulation of all of these actions are affecting the planet that we are living on. The collective karmas of all of the souls are influencing the major events of this earth planet, such as wars, famine, economic collapse, which we're all experiencing now. Not collapse, but decline. And so hurricanes, tsunamis, all of those things which affect the world as a whole, those are destined to happen to this world. And we made that destiny. The collective consciousness of all of the souls and their past karmas are determining these major events of the earth. In addition, those karmas which we have done in the past and which we're doing every moment of every day, every thought we have is a karma. It doesn't matter what the thought is, what matters is what is our motivation behind that thought. That's what counts in the spiritual world. So, as I said, the karmas regulate the events of the earth planet. So this is a force. This is an energy. So those are the 3 powers. Now, how is this universe created? We have scientists spending billions and billions of dollars for many, many years in research laboratories all over the world, trying to find the source of life, the source of creation. That knowledge is written in our Vedas, and it has always been there. But it's in Sanskrit, and that knowledge is not accepted by Western science. So they keep looking for the answers. We already have those answers. And so what I'm going to tell you is the precise procedure of the creation of this universe. And this information is told by Brahma, the Creator God, himself. So first is the sequence. The Taittiriya Upanishad explains the sequence of creation. I'm starting from a place which is beyond the subtle phases of creation which could not be understood by us, but which Sri Swamiji has explained in the book that I'm going to tell you about. I skipped those because we can't understand them. I am not qualified to explain them. So this is the stage from where we can begin to conceive what is happening. Tasmadva etasmadatmana akashah akashadvayuh vayoragnihi agnerapah adhyah prithvi prithivya aushadhayah aushadhaibhyonnam annat purushah sava esha purusho narasammayah. Now what does all that mean? I'll take it step by step. Tasmadva etasmadatmana akashah sambhutah. This is the phase where space is created. The first step of creation that we can actually comprehend. Akashadvayuh. And within that vast space, many pockets are formed, openings in that space. Each one of those openings is going to become a Brahmand. And I'll explain what a Brahmand is. It's a planetary system with one Brahma. And this is what one Brahmand, actually our Brahmand, because it's the only one we know about. This is what our Brahmand looks like. It's a sun and a moon and many planets revolving around that sun and moon. That's one Brahmand. And Brahmandas are all of different sizes. Vayo Ragnihi. Then heat and light are produced. And the first sub-particles emerge that will become the particles of this world. Agnedapaha. So the sub-particles of hydrogen atoms are created. Adhyaha Prithvi. The force of gravity begins to predominate in this space. And so once we have gravity, then bodies can be held together. And this means that planets can begin to be formed. And now we have physical mass that we can see. So that's the Brahmandas beginning to take shape. Prithivya Aushadhaya. Air, fire, and water are manifested by God. And so once we have oxygen, and then we have sunlight, and we have water, then we can have vegetation. And the first plants begin to grow on the earth. Where do they come from? How do these first plants get created? The soil, which was created by God, contains the seeds for all of the species of life which we know, except for which has now been genetically engineered. They're playing with God's creation and creating unnatural foods and things like that. But all of the species of all of the plants are there from the beginning of creation. Aushadhibhyonam. Then the grains come because the plants are growing, and once there is food for the plants, then life can come in the form of animals on the earth. Annat Purusha. Then human beings take birth on this earth. And this process is only controlled by God Himself in a very precise, systematic manner. This verse is said by Brahma himself, who is the creator of the Brahman. Then, how do souls appear on the earth? How do people, human beings, human life come? Well, we are all souls, and there's uncountable, unlimited numbers of souls that are residing in this Brahman. At the moment, only 6 billion of those souls have the great fortune and grace of God to be in the human form of life. And that is given by God at the beginning of this creation. And before we had this Brahman, we were existing in some other Brahman. So, soul's eternal. So what does God do with all these souls? When, at the end of the creation, we reside in the body of God. And when He does creation again, then whatever form you were in, whether it was a tree or a bird or a human, you get that form again at the beginning of creation. Completely fair, impartial. Okay, so now let's look at God in this creation. So this is Vishnu and Lakshmi, and they're sitting in Kshir Sagar, which is the name of their abode in the material space. And so they're sitting on Kshir Sagar, and they give birth to Brahma. From the navel of God Vishnu grows the lotus flower, where Brahma, the Creator God, sits.